I made a coat out of chenille number 6 bulky, super bulky yarn. I had this vision, and I had this vision that it would be bright colors. So that's what we did. So let's get started and let's talk about what it's meant to do what I thought was an easy process. Today, I'm starting my easy project. I'm hoping that this is a less than 5-day project. Why? We're going with the blanket yarn. We're going with the 10, not 9, but 10 millimeter hook. The goal is to do a hexagon cardigan in chenille, or at least the plastic chenille that comes from the box stores. I have put this project in timeout. Now, you may watch this video earlier or later, but just know that this project's in timeout. It may come back, it may not. And there's a version of this project's gonna show up that looks like this. I need to reprogram my brain right now, y'all, that I can finish a project. So live from my studio, that is also a work in progress, because I don't need to just have all this over here. This could be a table. There's this thing at Micro Center that I can get that I can put so I can roll on the floor and all. Calyxes, all of this. But for right now, I'm gonna just make a hexagon sweater out of some loops and threads, chenille yarn. Thinking I might just need maybe 4 to 6 skeins of this, to fit my size 14, 16 wide top for half. With the sleeves properly. And oh, by the way, Incline from Macy's. I believe this is a 14 wide. I just learned about that size this year. Now that I shop in the plus size section, I'm like, okay, this works. Because some of us are fatter than others. All of us should love our fat, though. So let's make something that can cover my whole body. Let's get going. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. And now we're slip stitching. And I'll check back in with you. We get a few rows in, and we're going to talk about probably one of the things you're a little concerned about with such a thick garment drape. So I'll see you in the next section, a few rows and rounds in. Jingle, jingle, y'all. We're making a sweater. Let's talk a little bit about what I was inspired to do. So before I get into whether or not this is going to drape or not, I still have a vision. And as you see, I've got this colorful yarn here, and I'm going to zoom in on it. So let me talk about how I had this sweater, the Loops and Threads Demi Pearl. It was already here in the house because I remember I did not finish my blanket. Go on over there, pop over to hear about the blanket, and come back over here. Then I used all of this yellow in the blanket. And then, you know me, I love me some purple and fuchsia. Y'all know that's part of the brand colors along with that navy. So I wanted that up in there. And then I figured to pop a green because since we're doing something so 80s, 90s inspired. And let's get to that inspo. Let me zoom out a little bit here. Oh, by the way, this Milanote screen is not being sponsored. Milanote, if you want to sponsor me, look at how I'm using your stuff. But of course, I'm still at this point filming this video. I'm not quite at monetization yet, but we getting there. Y'all, we getting there. Because to me, this look, these colors, that's money to me. I'm a 40-year-old millennial. These were the colors I was put in. Now, it was a little brown and bland in the early 80s, but like going into the late 80s, early 90s, I mean, I had something like this that made swishy noises. It was even more fuchsia. You know, I'm still working on this project, so you know this had to slap up on I had to slap this up on the wall, the proverbial Milanote wall. And then this is going to be more of how I'm actually going to construct the coat. I have not decided on if it's going to get a hood or not, but the navy blue is going to be this part. The white, this white's going to be one color, and this is another color. And then this one, when I search 80s color block coats, the reason I have the measurements here, the reason it is a picture, because above this screenshot, it says sold out. Do you know who bought it? Me. I bought this. So pretty soon you will have a video comparing a wool brightly colored coat to my coat again. That is unfortunately all polyester. But as I said before, I needed something in a super bulky weight. The chenille texture is a little bit more givable and a little bit smoother than the woolies, thick and quick texture. So we're going with that. And so now let's talk about my sketch. Don't laugh at me, y'all. I'm still getting used to doing fashion illustration, but I did go and Procreate. I used 2 different brushes. I used a pencil brush, and then when it was time to really go through and do all the crochet markings, I went thicker with like kind of that thick pen. I think it's like monotone, they call it. I did the monotone one. So we did monotone. And so, yes, that navy, they call it navy peony apparently at Michael's. That's the color. Then I want this yellow. I want this fuchsia. Then the green. Then the purple at the bottom. Now, I will say that the purple at Michael's is kind of giving me pause. But we'll see what happens. And in fact, let's go shopping. Let's get out of this screen. I'm about to get big for you, and we're going shopping. All right, because I waited for Bay to get off of work. That's why it's a little late that we're walking in here like this. But they said that this one, this particular one, I'm not going to identify one, but if you were in the greater Baltimore area, you know where I'm at. It's the one with all the stuff. While she gets enamored with this hamburger tumbler.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm not getting it, but it's pretty cool.
And I look over here at these Lego heads and this Lego storage. But we are here for one thing and one thing alone. No, not them. Some of that fabric there was tempting. Your typical acrylics. But I'm here for blanket yarn. Blanket yarn. Here you go. Show yourself. You have. All right, as we planned. Let's see how this goes when I get home. But first things first, of course, cash register. Stop. This is not your video. I love you, babies. While Babe retrieves some bags so I don't have to pay extra, I'm going to ring all of this up. I have not been in here for a while. My coupons are probably non-existent, but I have a vision and have a plan for this coat. Be similar to this, with all these bright chenille colors. Dopamine, I hate you sometimes, but here we are. Yep, she's being useful, y'all. We got the bag in here.
You look like I'm never useful.
Well, you know, you're always useful.
You're right. I am.
You're always useful.
Yes. Bagging up the yarn for the blankets.
It's not a blanket, it's a coat.
Oh, y'all, I'm scrambled. I just got off work and...
All right. Cut.
Okay, no.
She said I was being a little too hard on her for the store, but you know I was joking. You know she's very dutiful. She's a great model. She's a great handbag holder. And now I'm going to reward her by going across to Five Below to get some Easter candy because it's time for Oreo eggs. It's also getting chilly, and I want to get back and get going on this.
Yeah, for real.
Good morning, y'all. So we're after our little shopping trip. Let's see. Let me see if I can angle. The yarn that I picked up is here. I unpacked it. When I unpacked it, I realized I forgot one key color. Yeah, I know. But because of Michaels and the way they do their deals, I will be getting rewards vouchers to buy the purple. So that will be done. And what I'm really excited about is one thing to have the vision, it's one thing to pick up the supplies. And I've done those two things in mass over the years. But y'all, one skein is already asleep. If you are under, I would say, a size like 4, you only need 2 of each color to do the thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna need 4, but that's all right, because here we celebrate the body at every size. And the way, as quick as this thing works up, we're gonna be wearing it out here in these streets. So today's plan is to add this one I picked up last night. As far as yardage, it's 152 yards on each skein. So 152 yards is the equivalent of this. So basically you kind of get the basin of your 2 sides. I'm probably not going to use all of this. I'm also going to start a new, I might go ahead and do the bulk of the sleeve, but I'm torn. Part of me wants to see exactly how much I'm going to need on this side and then start this one, so knowing, and I think that's better. Kind of what I learned in my counting my stitches experiment or my for this one, which guess what else I found? I thought this project was dead. So ignore what I said in the very first part of this video where I said this project is dead. This project is not dead. This project's going to go side by side with this one. So go on over to that video. That video is still up and it's still going to be coming, but this one will probably come out first. Anyway, we'll figure out how much more I need here. I did measure. This is about 16. Each side of the hexagon is 16 inches right now. I need them to be 20. So once we get them to 20, then I have these little fabric clips, which once again, if you make garments, these, and you're still using pins. Now, it's a reason to use pins for some things, but you don't have to pin yourself into your garment. You can fabric clip yourself into your garments now. We might be making something vintage inspired, but we don't have to always use vintage things, and definitely not vintage value. So I am going to stitch up to 20 inches, do my first try on my sleeve, see how much more sleeve I need, and then we gonna keep going on down. How we sound? Sounds good? Let's go. Happy Monday, y'all. I spent a wonderful weekend looking at other people's beautiful crafts. I spoke about my gentrification defying book at my church in DC. It's a wonderful place where we support artists and we're about the social justice sides of Jesus, but this is not an evangelism video whatsoever, and that's what I love. I curse in my book, so that should tell you what kind of Christian aligned agnostic person I am. I'm here for the Black church. That's what I'm here for, and I think I've got a garment that's going to be just as big of a stunner as the Contour Brands coat that I wore to the American Craft. Definitely check out that short I did. I had a little bit of fun with walking in and around the Baltimore Convention Center, being at a craft festival. Several women complimented me on my hair color next to the 80s, just the whole 80s vibe I was doing with the coat, my hair color, my dress color, all of that. And yes, I wore the infamous green dress. And yes, one day you will be getting a video. And that's what I want to ask you in the comments. Tell me what you would like to see of these types of in the process working on a project videos. So to get us to where I would like to be today, this is the completed first sleeve. It's each side is 23 inches. I was aiming for 22, and together I'll put these together, and this is my sleeve length. The plan for the sleeve is to add a little bit of each color, but ultimately the sleeves may just stay blue, and I may just put a little band here to tie it in, so it'll be easier for me to kind of flap around with such a large coat. But that may also change when I put it on, so stay tuned for that. Second thing is, this is my torso before it bends when I'm seated. So the blue will basically be the top, and I'll look like I'm wearing a blue coat and a navy blue coat only when I'm seated. But when I'm standing, all those lovely colors that are here in the sketch, which I'm throwing back up here on the screen, should come alive. I'm anticipating, based on the length here, that I'll need one skein of each, but I do have a shorter torso than I have legs. So keep that in mind as you're journeying with me on this photographic journey, in this video journey. So let me finish stitching this. I'm not even gonna worry about how many days. Right now, I realize something I learned at the craft festival is that I'm creating a garment. This is me creating a garment. So we're not gonna worry about how many days it takes. We're just gonna worry about how nice of a garment I can create for myself, so that I will have another showstopper of a coat again in this case. And maybe, just maybe, I might have a pattern for you. So we're gonna put these together, and when we come back, they will be together. And I will have my first testing of the base of the sweater. All right, fit check. Stepped in the studio restroom here. So we've got, honestly, I think I haven't sewn the back all the way in yet, but we have progress. And a little bump here because I think there was a couple of these that were 2 to 3 stitches, but nevertheless, we are going forward with this coat. We're gonna get this coat. So I'm very pleased. We are down to the floor. I got 3 more skeins last night to tie up some loose ends. Loose ends being sleeve extension, ribbing, pockets. So I'm gonna throw those on. That's what we have here in this. Now, we are actually, what you're seeing right now on camera is actually 80%, or actually I won't say 80, I'll say 95% finished, because right now, since we're kind of in this weird full spring, I'm enjoying not needing to have a cuff, but the cuff will be this color pink. I am enjoying not needing to have a collar for ribbing. And today I'm in a black t-shirt and black sweatpants underneath it. But when I debuted it at the Baltimore Fiber Swap, this is what I wore. I wore a fuchsia blouse and a black pair of gauchos. The fuchsia blouse is from Express. It's a large. And the black pants are from Nordstrom Rack. They are a 16. So, or extra large. I was one of those sizes, equivalent sizes. So, how do I feel about this project now that I've done it? I felt like once I got the hexagon part together, it wasn't a lot of effort to add on the yellow and the purple on the bottom. As I was adding on the yellow, I did start to put the green on that I originally planned. I did buy the green. The green is going to go into a different project. I just wanted to focus on that 90s windbreaker color silhouette. And I think with these 3 together, I achieved that. How do I feel in it? How does it wear? So right now I'm wearing it. It is about 68 to 72 degrees outside. I'm sitting on my balcony. It's a little humid. We're expecting thunderstorms because the full spring in Baltimore is about to end. But it feels great. Like, if you're wearing something that is acrylic, y'all, it's going to be hot regardless. That's part of it. But acrylic helps you when you're drafting and making a pattern. It helps you understand how much you need. It's an affordable way of entry. And with the chenille, it works up well and it actually feels good to the touch. Now, if you don't like really soft things, then that might be not your thing. But for those of you who are like me, who are on the autistic spectrum and concerned and have sensory sensitivities around fabrics, heat's definitely going to be a factor for you here. Softness and how it feels on your body may not be that factor for you. Then we have how long it took for me to make it. I've, of course, spliced in some of the journey of what I did and how I did it and why. And as you see, it probably would have took me maybe a week consecutively. I originally teased this video as a 5-day project. To be honest, I would say that there's 2 skeins here, 2 skeins here, 2 skeins here, 2 skeins here. So 2, 4, 6, 8. And then 9, because I outlined this with an extra bit of the blue. So that's what you're seeing here. And then I did the sleeve caps, and that was a day. So I would say this is roughly 11 days. And that's 11 days preserving your hands. That's 11 days not consecutive. That's 11 days of doing it in the midst of life and life happening. But for the most part, I am very satisfied with what I did. And when I took this picture yesterday, I was very, very happy. And I got so many compliments in a room of fellow fiber crafters. So I knew I was going in the right direction. But regardless, the vision was in the right direction. And I think it helped to just shrink down from the so many colors that I started with. So I don't regret shrinking down from those colors. What I will budget, definitely take advantage of the Michael sales. Also, if you use if you can find another vendor for these colors of the chenille chunky and super bulky, even Bernat blanket itself, which these two come in a color Bernat blanket. This one I did not see. Or if you want to go a little bit different colors. And yes, I will be writing a pattern for this, a more detailed one. But let me know what you think of my attempts down below. Did I succeed in my attempts to create a chenille blanket yarn duster? I think I did. And so if you like these kinds of videos, stay here right here on the Chris Pattern channel, because there's more of those where I got this from.